Yeah.
Guys, this is so fun. This podcast episode is finally alive. I know that I had like a little poll on my Instagram, which make sure you follow the Instagram if you haven't already, because we'd be having so much fun on there. But I had a poll of like who people guessed for the next guest, and somebody guessed Ariana, and outside of Instagram, people had also been like, when are you gonna have Ariana on? Like hounding me. I was like, I'm so excited to introduce my girly, my ex-roommate, my college partner in crime, Ariana!
Hey.
Some of you know her, some of you don't, but we went to school together. She's my girl. We've really been through...
We've been through a lot together.
Quite some things. Like, I feel like we have so much to share.
There's so much. Just from, like, the... Like, not even, like, just the 1 year that we lived together, but, like, the time before and after. We just...
The lore.
There's so much lore between us. She knows too much about me.
And same. It's scary.
Yeah.
All the states you've seen me in.
You've seen me at my lowest.
She's seen me at my highest. And she's seen me at my lowest. But I love it. I love how our friendship has grown.
It really has.
I'm excited to get into that. We're going to get into, a little bit about our friendship, being introverts.
Yes.
Because I feel like we actually have a lot to say. And you guys probably don't think that.
And y'all don't listen.
Yeah, just like our advice on that and just how we cope with different things like anxiety when it comes to being in a social setting.
We're gonna get into
our attachment styles, because if you don't know what that is, we got you. Yeah, just our little stories, just a little story time hangout. Yes. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited to get into it. And also, before we begin, I forgot to mention that this is not sponsored at all, but we love to play this game. It's called We're Not Really Strangers. It's not a sponsorship, but we love this, like, playing this game so much, and we played it with so many, like, friend groups. And so after each segment, we're gonna choose, like, 1 or 2 cards just to, like, answer for y'all. So I'm excited to do that too.
Me too.
Let's get into it. So first, I had a little game for us. Yeah. 2 truths and a lie. Because I feel like we know each other pretty well. Yeah. But maybe there's some stuff that I don't know.
I need to think of like a big fat lie. Okay, I got it. I never learned how to ride a bike. Number 2, I was on an episode of 2.5 Men as a child.
Oh.
And number 3, I was really into ballet as a kid.
Hold up. I'll say the first one is a lie.
That one's true. I never learned how to ride a bike.
Wait, so you still don't know?
No. No, people have tried to teach me. It's like a lost cause at this point. Like,
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Like, you have a car now?
No, like it does not affect me unless someone is randomly like, let's go on bike rides, and I'm like, I'll pass.
Bike ride? No. So the other ones you were on 2.5 Men?
Because my mom tried putting me into like background acting just to like get a little like side money. I didn't get that much money from it.
Your parents were like, she's a star.
She's a star.
She's a star.
Yeah, but I was not super into ballet. I actually did do it for like a couple months as a kid. It's cool.
Yeah.
But like I didn't care enough about it, so my parents were like, okay, we're not going to spend all this money on ballet.
Okay, so this is 2 truths and a lie. Wait, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at life. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
You got it? No, you got it. Come on.
Okay, I can convince you.
I believe in you.
I almost went on the Ellen show while it was still airing and got to sit with Shawn Mendes. You know how they bring like fans on the show?
Yeah.
But I didn't go on because I missed a phone call. Next, I was in a commercial with Kate McKinnon, who plays Ugly Barbie and like SNL, but it never aired. Next, I was almost an extra in the show on my blog since it filmed at my high school. I also never got a call back from that one. Which one was the lie?
I'm gonna say the first one.
The first one, the Shawn Mendes?
Yeah, is that the lie?
No.
Really?
I think it was like in middle school or something like that. It was like a crazy long time ago. And I used to be obsessed with the Ellen show. And I remember they put out this like thing where they were like, oh, if you're a really big fan of Shawn Mendes, like write us a little like email about like why you love him and stuff like that. Girl, I put my heart and soul into that because I was a huge Shawn Mendes fan. And then I just sent it and I was like, they're probably not going to look at it. And then I think I was like hanging out with my friends, and at the time, like, I didn't have a phone. Like, this was a long time ago.
Okay.
So I put my mom's number on there, and I was like, it's fine. My mom got a call. It was literally the people from The Ellen Show.
Yeah.
And they were, like, asking about me because they wanted to ask me more questions. And my mom was like, she's not here. And they were like, oh. And I think they needed to kind of, like, make a decision quick. The girl who ended up being on, I saw the episode, she ended up being surprised with Shawn Mendes. They got to meet, and he, like, signed a guitar for her. And her name was literally Sophie. I'm not kidding.
It should have been you.
That's what I'm saying. I'll show you the clip.
It was supposed to be you.
Literally, I'll show you the freaking clip. And I'm not capping. Okay, her name was Sophie. I was like,
they got the wrong girl.
Wrong. Oh, she was a black. Wrong girl. Interesting lives over here. The commercial, that happened too. Like, it was literally just me walking in.
Bills had to be paid.
Bills had to be paid one way or another. Thanks, guys, for playing along with us. If you did, I hope you guessed it right. If you did, let us know in the comments below. But to end this little segment off, we're going to choose from level 1. There's 3 levels. Don't know if I explained that. There's level 1, which is perception. So that's, like, kind of the more, like, light level. But honestly, they sometimes be having some questions in there.
They do. And it's like, why are we on level 3? We just started.
Yeah. I'm scared. Why are we doing this on camera? Why did I have this idea?
Oh my gosh. This be exposing me sometimes too. Should I just pick like the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm scared. Okay. From your perspective, oh my god. From your perspective, what would this chapter of my love life be called? We can be honest here.
We can't. It's a safe space.
This is a safe space. So you can let them know.
For the plot.
Exactly.
For the plot.
That is exactly what this chapter is. It's
Mindset.
all for the plot.
Yeah.
Everything I do for the plot. I'll choose one. Your turn.
I'm scared. I really am though. Okay. If I had a movie poster on my wall, which would it be? Probably Get Out.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh wait, was I supposed to let you answer that? Wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I had the answer.
No, but like you answered for me, but like we had the same answer though.
I would have a whole podcast just about that, honestly.
Honestly, you should, because there's so much you can get into for that movie. Because like every time I watch, I feel like I notice something new with that movie.
Right. I'm like, that too? Yeah, I remember being so shook. It was nothing like I thought.
If you have not seen it, what are you doing?
We're doing another. Oh.
Why do I keep getting the love life ones? Okay. Describe my ideal first date from start to finish.
Oh god. Okay, if you want to switch it, you can, but I can also answer it. You know how you went to go visit like that little museum?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like something like that where it's like very like maybe niche to like what she would like. And then like go get like coffee after, walk around, something like chill like that that's not too crazy of like an itinerary, like we're gonna be together for the entire day.
Do not hold me captive. I will shut down. I feel like that's like pretty accurate. I feel like having like some kind of like icebreaker activity, like going to like a museum or like something where like I'm being active and not just like sitting there having to talk to someone, because that's scary.
Yeah.
But then like afterwards maybe like just like chilling and like, I don't know, eating food. Like that's a good way to connect.
Yeah, I agree. What made you gravitate towards me as a friend?
Aw, I love this question.
Me too.
One, like how similar our humor was. I think that's like what really like drew me in at first. Just knowing like, okay, like this is someone like I can really like joke around with and like be myself. And I think just like seeing like how genuine you were with like your care for our friendship.
Aww.
That was also like a really big thing. Because like you like really like put in the effort. Like, especially because she was my discipler from the start.
Yeah, and if you don't know what a discipler is, it's kind of like a mentor, and that was a crazy journey. I didn't know what I was doing.
You helped me a lot that first year, especially like during the pandemic, where I was like, I don't know if I actually want to be here. Like, it's all on Zoom. I don't know anyone, but like you really like put yourself out there and like continue to be like, hey, like let's FaceTime once a week. Like, I think that was like really big for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so good. Yes. Oh, that makes me happy. Wait, why do I feel like... I always feel like crying on here.
Oh,
we don't have to do that right now, but that's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that it made a difference. I remember we first became friends like in the pandemic, like you were saying. And that was a crazy time, girl. We were all isolated. And that's crazy, we just kind of met more through that. Like, I had met you before. Once through
literally
her sister one time at our summer camp, and we were like, hey.
And literally my sister was like, oh, you're gonna love her, she's so fun. And I was just
and we were like,
hi. That was it.
That's actually what I knew. She was like, my sister's exactly like you guys, carbon copy. And when you brought her,
I was just like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna go back to my friends over there.
Yeah, she was like, can I leave to my friends now? I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's crazy. You never know the impact somebody will have in your life, girl. You never know. At first, I don't think I was your discipler yet, or your, like, mentor. Like, I was just, like, I think Teresa was just like, oh, like, can you, like, just, like, be a friend to her? Like, she's new. And I was like, of course. Like, I was so excited when you came in. And I remember you, like, DM'd me, and you were like, hey, like, I'm coming to your school. And I was like, like, we're talking kind of about, like, our first impressions of each other. Like, how do you think that, like, it's changed from when we first met? Now that we know each other, we've lived together, we've lived through stuff.
Initially, like, when we first started, like, hanging out more, I feel like, I don't know why, but I was just like, oh, like, she seems like she, like, really, like, has everything together. Like, I can't tell her all my issues because she's gonna think I'm crazy, you know?
Oh my god.
Like,
wait, keep going. That's so.
You just seemed like you, like, knew so much, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna know, like, how to be normal around this person.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, over time, I was like, wait, like, I can break character. I can be silly, goofy, crazy with her.
But of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you love that. That is so crazy that you thought that. I feel like we are our biggest critics in our heads, because I did not feel like I had anything together. I felt like I was falling apart. Thank you for sharing that, though. I feel like for you, when I first met you, I didn't know if we were gonna be, like, good friends, and I was hoping so, because I was like, I don't want her to feel like this is, like, a forced friendship. Like, I feel like we're kind of, like, brought together, but I didn't want you to feel like, oh, she's only talking to me because somebody told her to. Yeah. And so I was like, no, I actually, like, enjoy, like, talking to you. Like, and I think when we first met, we were both kind of just like, hi. Literally. How was your week? Good? Yours? Okay.
Oh, good.
Bye. And I think I was afraid to open up to you too, because when we would talk, I'd be more on, like, the supporting end, where it's like, oh, you could just, like, talk and I'm just here to listen. Like, I don't know, I just had that strict, like, kind of, like, structure in my mind where I was like, oh, I guess that's how it's supposed to be, like, discipler just helps the person. But then, like, I remember you would start, like, asking me questions back, and I was like, oh, wait, she cares? You're like, oh, wait, how's your day? Like, how is this going for you? And I'm like, wait, what? This is not in the script, like.
No, literally, because every discipler before that was always, like, an older person where, like, that's all they would do is just, like, ask me questions, and I was like, this is kind of, like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need to know, like, who is she before I tell her all this stuff,
before
you know?
you open up. I think that's so important for sure. Like, you can't expect people to open up to you if you don't share anything about yourself. I felt like you were, like, really relatable in, like, a lot of things that you were sharing, and I also thought you were, like, super funny. I also thought you kind of were, like, oh, like, very, like...
Really?
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, okay. She got her thing, like, life is going well for her, but then as we started to, like...
It's not.
No. Literally. Now I see you as somebody who, like, it's just is real. Like, you know, even when you're, like, happy and having a good time, you'll be open if you're not having a good time. Yeah. And we've, like, shared with each other how we're doing and, like, all the little, like, details about different things where we're just like, this happened. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're definitely a lot more, like, open and just, like, ourselves around each other. It's just been cool. I guess we can get into, like, our roommate adventures.
Yeah.
Our roommate adventures. I feel like we had so many.
The tattoos.
The tats. And we're known for, like, getting tattoos very spontaneously. Yeah. Although I've been doing good in these past, like, couple years recently. I feel like it's the Ariana influence. Like, you haven't been around me this past year.
And that's what it is. That's why you haven't gotten tattoos.
As soon as we stopped being roommates, like, I chilled out for real. Like, I chilled out.
Like, dude, same. It wasn't until, like, the last one. But that one was planned. Yeah. I planned the last one.
But before that, we'd be like...
We were just like, oh, like, I saw this cute design. What if I got it today? and we would do it.
Exactly. It was like the best. That was like some of my favorite, like,
dude, it was so fun.
Memories.
We were doing so much. All the Chipotle runs.
The Chipotle runs.
Wait, I feel like we need to talk about the pie.
We are bakers. Don't sleep on us.
People loved our pie.
Ate it up.
Someone offered to pay good money for us to make their pie.
And it's a sweet potato pie. A classic. It tastes really good. Yeah, just trust us. Just trust us. We had that idea for like the pie night at our church. Like they were like, everybody bring a pie. And so we decided, let's make it.
Yeah.
From scratch.
And we did it like in her dorm. We were kind of on a time crunch. And so we decided to turn up the heat like pretty high, just, you know, get things done quicker. Like we were late.
500 degrees. And then after we literally almost destroyed my dorm because there was like sweet potato on the wall. I'm not kidding you. My roommates didn't walk in the living room. Thank God. There was sweet potato on the wall.
We was logged in the sink at one point with sweet potato.
Yeah. And then we're hungry.
So we were like, what if we just like stop by Chipotle really quick while it's in the oven? And then we came back and everything was fine. Nothing was on fire. Like
the plate was cleared within
literally
minutes. And then we made it for Black History Month. Yeah. Exactly.
It was incredible.
It's just really amazing what we've done. Like
our impact.
Our impact. This is why I brought her on here. The impact of the pie, y'all. Axe throwing.
There was an axe throwing place right by where we lived.
Yeah.
You know what closed down? Yeah. Our old spot closed down.
No.
Yeah.
This is how I find out?
I'm so sorry.
Oh wait, I'm remembering another story.
Yeah?
Remember we went to In-N-Out and we saw...
Oh, when we saw Marquette!
So I don't know if y'all ever watched Blackish, but Junior from Blackish, he like was at the In-N-Out.
And it was just like one like late night. We were like in a group of people, but like only we and like one other person like really knew who he was.
Yeah.
And we were feeling bold, so we were like, we're gonna say hi to him.
Yeah.
And
we walked up to him. He was actually pretty chill.
He was really nice.
He was like talking to us. He was like, "Oh, where do you guys go to school?" We were telling him all the tea. Yeah. It was cool.
It was fun.
And our like homie Josh. Shout out to Josh. I love you so much.
Hey.
He's a contact. And then after we were like, dang, that was such a chill conversation. He was by himself.
What if we invited him to sit with us? Because you know he's alone.
Right.
And it was like just us that like started walking up to say hi and do that. I was like, oh yeah, do you want to sit with me and my friend? I turn around. Sophie's gone.
I got so scared. I was like, this is crazy. We're asking him to hang out. And in that moment, that's so mean. I wasn't like, oh, if we're together, it'll be less scary. I was just like, I just can't do this.
And so it was just me being like, you want to hang out with my friend? She's over there. She's here, I swear. And he was like, I'll think about it. And he did not.
And he did not. But he almost, I really thought he was about to come over.
It seemed like he was like thinking about it too.
Yeah. And Josh was sitting right next to us in little In-N-Out tables. And literally, we're like saving a seat for him just in case. We're like a couple friends.
Yeah.
And then Josh comes and sits down.
And we're like, this is reserved.
Yeah, we pushed him out. We're like, this is just in case he hangs out with us. And then he never did. I felt really bad because I literally pushed him.
I'm so sorry, Josh.
Crazy.
Josh, if you're seeing this, I'm really sorry.
We love you. I'm so sorry for that moment. Oh wait, I forgot about tattoos. We wanted to share a little tattoo meanings or ones that mean the most to us.
The two that really do are the ones on my shoulder and the one that I just got on my leg.
Yeah.
The shoulder one I actually got when I was 16. My parents let me do that, so shout out to them. But it's a tattoo of a sun, and I actually drew it myself, just like in class one day.
That's crazy.
But like it had like a scripture attached to it, and it's Psalms 121, and it talks about how the Lord is our shade, and the sun will not harm us by day, nor the moon at night. And that was really big for me at the time, just because I was experiencing like a lot of anxiety and just like worry about like just who I was and like where I was going in the future, and just knowing that like God was always going to be there and like nothing was going to harm me. I think that was really big for me. So just like having like the sun there as a reminder that like nothing big like that is really gonna like get in my way.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it. And I never knew you drew it yourself. I've seen it and it looks good.
The new one that I got is of a seraphim And if you don't know what that is a biblically accurate angel. I got that one because, like, I've always wanted, like, an angel tattoo just because I thought it would be cute. And more recent years, I've kind of realized that, like, there's a lot of things, like, in religion and Christianity that, like, I realized weren't real things, like, from the Bible and, like, actual, like, truths. And I think, like, a lot of times, like, I would just be like, okay, like, this is what I learned in church as a kid, so, like, I'm just gonna believe it. And I think, like, seeing, like, the seraphim as, like, kind of more of, like, a reality of, like, the truth that, like, religion isn't always going to be beautiful. It's not always going to be easy or pretty to look at, but, like, knowing that, like, you have, like, a truth of, like, what you genuinely believe, I think that's, like, really big for me now.
Wow. That's deep. Wow, I love that so much.
Thanks.
Oh, my favorites, tattoos are meaningful. Tattoos, I would say, probably the butterflies. This was a spontaneous decision, but I have always wanted butterflies. I just didn't think I was going to be getting it the day that I did. So I was like, ugh. But it was a fun little time. To me, it symbolizes, like, transformation and remembering, like, the beauty that comes from that. Because it can just feel like, why are these things happening? Why is this change happening? And, like, it can be very, like, discouraging. And I don't like dealing with unexpected big changes that are very, like, emotional. And so I feel like it's just kind of my reminder that there's beauty to come that I just can't see that will come out of this transformation. Even if I can't quite see it yet, it's there. So I should continue to push through to experience that. I think this also, one that's very meaningful to me, it's the one I got for Daniela. And it's like a rose and it has like a D, like in cursive. And I like that it's very, like, subtle, that you wouldn't really be able to tell that it is for somebody. And when I first got it, everybody was like, oh, what does this mean? I was like, I just met you. I don't know how to say this. Yeah. But now people don't really ask as much because literally to them it just looks like a rose. And I'm like, that's fine. Because to me, it means something more. But yeah, it, like, symbolizes, like, our friendship and, like, the memory of that. But yeah, those are, like, my two meaningful ones on my wrists. And I feel like the wrists are, like, cool places to get it because it's like,
and they both look really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. And, like, being a support system for each other, like, how do you think, like, that was, like, for us just as, like, roommates and, like, friends in college? Because I feel like we said, we saw each other go through, like, a lot of things.
You were literally, like, always there.
Yeah.
And, like, if I ever, like, needed someone to talk to, like, I knew, like, you would be there for me. But, like, I never wanted to, like, abuse that privilege, obviously. But, like, I think it was just really helpful to know that, like, I had someone, like, in my home and my safe space, like, I could really, like, trust with this information. Because, like, I feel like we both went through a lot at that time. So it was nice to know, like, I could come to you with things. And, like, you also felt comfortable, like, opening up with me about, like, your own personal stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that was a really huge thing for me.
And I think we both took the courage to tell each other, like, hey, like, I'm kind of going through this. I feel like once we took those steps and we realized, oh, this person still, like, loves me and wants to be there for me and doesn't expect me to be the perfect human being, I think that's how we're able to, like, really create that and normalize it and not make it a weird thing or, like, always expect each other. Because we laugh with each other a lot, you know, we have fun memories, but, like, sometimes we don't feel like laughing. Sometimes it's like just an off day or we're sad. I feel like also from, like, living with you for a while, like, I could kind of get to know you more in that way too. And I was like, I feel like today maybe was a little rough day. And then you'd open up about it. I was like, okay. Or maybe you'd just be like, yeah, I'm tired. And I was like, okay. Yeah, living with each other, I feel like it just really helped us, like, understand each other better, which was really cool.
I feel like since we, like, spent so much time together, like, now I feel like I can really, like, read your emotions a lot better and, like, know, like, oh, like, maybe she, like, needs a little break or, like, you know, maybe she's not in the best mood right now or, like, be like, oh, like, she, like, genuinely is having fun.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a lot easier to see that now that, like, I've seen you in, like, all your different phases.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. It's so fun. I love living together. I miss it.
I miss it
so much.
I miss you.
It's okay. I miss you too. Maybe we can do one question. Ooh, this is actually a great transition, I feel like, for us too. It's level 2, y'all, which is connection. It says, what have you learned to accept about yourself with time? I think I've learned to accept that, like, we're gonna get into this, like, being introverted. I've learned to accept that being introverted is not a curse.
Yeah.
Like, I used to think it was a curse, and I was like, why can't I just be like people who don't have any problem talking to people? And sometimes I still feel like that. Like, why can't I just be really good with like people and like talking to people and be like really out of myself and just always show everybody my personality? Like, why is it physically so hard for me? And why is it with certain people it just like doesn't work? And I've learned to accept that there's a lot of strength in being introverted too, like being a really great listener, being very observant, and knowing when to not speak, like having that wisdom. And I feel like I've learned to accept that this is just who I am and that I can grow and be more outgoing, but I don't have to feel like shame for like being quieter or like, you know, not always having something to say or not always being on 10 and having all this energy. So yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, what's the hardest part about making new friends for you? Oh, that's a good one. I think for me, it's kind of just like, ooh, we gotta focus.
Oh, you did it.
I did it. Oh my gosh. I'm literally a magician.
Yeah.
So the hardest part, I think for me about like making new friends is kind of like that initial barrier of like knowing like, okay, like is it someone that like I can really like open myself up to? Kind of like similar to what you're saying about like being introverted, and like I think for me, like, it takes a while to really warm up to someone and, like, feel like I can, like, really be out of myself and be extroverted. And I think, like, that also kind of turns some people away because they're just like, oh, she's quiet. Like, I'm just not even going to, like, try to, like, initiate anything with her. And so, like, it kind of just goes both ways. Like, me not wanting to open myself up and then people not wanting to, like, kind of break past that initial barrier.
Yeah. I relate to that. And I feel like that's something that helped me understand you more too. Because I was like, y'all, sometimes she's not mad. She's just
I'm literally just existing.
And that's
y'all
another
don't get
thing
it.
because it's specifically us, which, you know, I do think I do have like a resting face for sure.
Same.
I've been told by multiple people, but sometimes, y'all, I'm just existing. Sometimes she's just existing. She's not mad. She's not angry.
Not mad.
It's
literally just like my face sometimes, and I'm just like,
wait, let's do our resting face. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, wait, why do I look a little mad? But like a lot of people just like assume that like I'm angry or like I'm judging them or like something like negative, but really there's not a thought going through my head.
And like we're gonna get into that too, which we can get into right now, like the misconceptions about like introverted people. We don't want to go out. We don't have anything to say. We're all awkward, and we don't want to be anywhere, and we're boring, which is not true.
We're not boring. Have you
fun.
seen us?
We could literally scream at the top of our lungs if we wanted to.
We have.
And we have.
People have given us looks.
Exactly.
We're loud.
She can be super extroverted. I can be super extroverted.
We can be very animated.
We can like enjoying spending time with people.
But we can also run out of social battery.
That does happen.
That definitely happens. And sometimes we just need a little rest break.
I'll just like sit and just like enjoy the conversation, but you don't have to like feel like you need to make sure I'm okay. Like I am okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm not sad. I'm just literally sitting.
Sometimes I just don't want to talk. Sometimes I just want to sit there and just, you know, enjoy people's presence.
Yeah.
And they think that I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
It's not true though.
You do. Some people are just more selective about what they choose to vocalize, and sometimes that's a great thing, okay? Because you shouldn't be saying everything that comes out of your freaking head. Okay, this is going into a different topic. But like introversion, some people who are introverts also have like social anxiety. I know for you, like that's something that's like you have. Yeah. And I don't have like diagnosed social anxiety, but I definitely feel like really anxious when I'm like you got it. I'm really anxious in like social settings where I'm just like I always feel tense, and I've gotten so used to that feeling of feeling tense everywhere I go, and like not knowing who I'm gonna talk to, and like I don't know, and like sometimes feeling super left out of conversations where it's like it's not your job to include me, but like I feel like invisible, or I feel like sometimes I do want to say something and I just get scared. So like what do you feel like has been most like helpful for you to like when dealing with that, and like what is most supportive for you to feel from like other people that you like wish they could do?
I think like for me what I've noticed is like the most helpful in those situations is kind of just to have like a designated person that like I feel safe and that I know like I can talk to like if I am feeling that way, or that I know like will include me like in conversations and like is willing to kind of just sit with me. And I think like definitely like whenever I'm with you, I feel like that's always like the safest, because I'm like I can just be like, hey Sophie,
I feel the
I don't want to
exact
be here.
same way.
Yeah.
I literally feel the exact same way. You're like my safe person. Like if Ariana's not at the function, that's when I start getting nervous for real. Because I'm like,
same. Because I'm like, who am I gonna talk to?
I'm go mute.
So I'm so glad that we have like the mutual safe space for that.
I'm so grateful for that too, honestly. And I love that you shared that. And I've seen you, I feel like, grow so much in that too. So it's so good to see. Like, we need it. And it feels nice when people like notice that too. When you're like, oh, that person's having a hard time. Somebody knows somebody's having like a harder time. They're like, oh, like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
or like,
oh,
shoot.
shoot.
Really like ask you and like
Actually
get
have
you
monologue.
into it. Yes.
Yeah. Or like, what do you think about this, Sophie? Or like, have you ever seen this movie?
But yeah, shout out to the extroverts that actually, you know, will connect with the introverts. We love y'all.
We love you. Thanks for seeing us as human beings and including us in conversation and not thinking we're weird or boring or mad if we don't talk the entire time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Love y'all.
I guess we could just end on attachment styles, which I wanted to talk about for a little bit. The attachment styles, how you like connect to people. Mine is like anxious avoidant or something like that.
I think mine is also that. That's crazy.
Where have you been?
Nobody. I know what you're doing.
That's also where my anxiety comes through. That's where we're also the same.
Yeah.
Attachment styles, it's so good to know. That basically means that we're like, an example is like if you don't text me for like 3 hours, and you usually text me pretty consistently, after I sent you a vulnerable text, I'm gonna be like, you hate me.
Like the avoidance of it, you're kind of like too scared to like actually like confront the person about that, so you kind of just sit without anxiety, and like you won't really like get past that.
In love life too, for sure. Like just where it's just like, I need this person to validate that this relationship is okay constantly. And I'm gonna base it off of things that maybe I shouldn't like base it off of. I'm trying to become more like, have a more secure like attachment where I'm just like, whatever you do, I'm gonna be okay. Yes, and I know when to let go. And I feel like we also have grown in that too, like
for sure,
our security and not just like accepting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there were some times where Sophie saw the bar was literally on the ground. Like I tripped over it.
The bar was in hell and
the
Satan
bar
was standing there.
Literally in hell. Satan
Like,
tripped on the bar. That's
no,
how low
literally.
it was for me at some points.
Literally, I remember crying in a Chipotle because I was like, she doesn't deserve that.
But we've grown since then.
Yeah.
And I've learned definitely, you know, I can't just accept the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I've realized, like, I have worth, you know?
Right.
And, like, people need to understand that.
Mm-hmm. There will be more people in your life that will love you and will give you the time and attention that you deserve, but you're more than that person's, how often that person texts you or calls you or asks you to hang out or, like, whatever. So, love that we've grown into our confidence.
Yes.
Let us know what attachment style you are down below. But maybe we can do, it's kind of a stretch, but one last. Oh, really? What song makes you think of me? Reflection. This is not that deep, but I would say Ice Spice, that and Love Sosa.
Oh, yes.
Sosa,
and I know it. Okay. Oh, how has our friendship changed you for the better? I think like going off what we were saying with like learning how to be more confident, I feel like you really, one, you were willing to like listen to my delusional and like awful thought processes, but like you were willing to be like, okay, that's valid, but no. And I think like that really helped me to see like, okay, like there's definitely like some things that I need to work on and change for the better.
Mm-hmm.
And like being willing to like not judge those things, but like kind of just validate like where I was and where I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that really helped me with my confidence.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I feel like this friendship really has changed me for the better. Like the timing of it was perfect. Mm-hmm. I feel like we literally are like long lost twins.
We are.
Long lost twins. And I hope we have many more memories beyond college.
For sure. I'm so glad we did this.
Me too, Ariana. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
So
Thank you for having me.
Of course, girl. People wanted you on. I wanted you on. So I'm so glad we could make it happen.
I'm so glad.
And thank you guys for listening. Please make sure you do you want your Instagram? You don't have to.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay. Please make sure you follow Ariana on Instagram if you want to connect with her, stay up with her. Ariana.Newsome, right?
Yeah.
Ariana.Newsome on Insta. Yeah. And make sure y'all join the gang, Andsoph Pod, which is the podcast Instagram where we be talking about who's going to be the next guest. We be sharing little clips. We be sharing our opinions. Please join us on there and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and put on your post notifications so you know when these videos are going to be out. And check out the visual version if you're listening to the audio, because it's definitely a treat. But if you're listening to the audio version, thank you. Make sure you follow the Spotify page and download our episodes so you can listen whenever you want. And on Apple Podcasts as well. But, yeah, any last words?
Just thank you so much for having me. Thanks y'all for listening. I really hope y'all got something out of this, or just, had a fun time.
I hope so too. And remember that people will love you for your authentic self. So be yourself, even if you're more quiet. Like, look at us, y'all. We went on a podcast, okay?
That's
we went
scary.
On a podcast. That is
but we
scary.
did it.
But we did it, and you have a lot to say. Your voice is important, so make sure you use it. And I hope that you feel loved and included in the spaces, because you deserve to be heard, okay? You deserve to be heard. And yeah, I just hope you can cherish the memories with your friends, because you never know like what people in your life could end up being really close to you. So just be open to meeting new people. And yeah.
And we love you.
We love you so much. Thanks for watching.